Attention TikTok. This is Gail Lewis, Morris, Illinois, 844. Signing out. Goodbye.
TikTok was no longer with us, at least temporarily for a few hours, then it was brought back. But the response to the ban have been funny, especially Gen Z. They were freaking out over the ban, rightfully so. When TikTok first blew up in 2018, Gen Z got hooked right away. Like, TikTok hit Gen Z like crack hit black communities in the 80s, and now they're suffering from withdrawals after less than a day. In general, the online discourse over the potential ban of TikTok has been ludicrous. Two things need to be said. Number one, Gen Z. TikTok being potentially banned isn't the end of the world. Society isn't going to crumble because TikTok might possibly be permanently banned. Number two, for the people who want TikTok to be banned, TikTok being banned isn't all of a sudden going to make the world a better place. It's not going to make Gen Z touch grass and abandon the online space like some people think on social media. That won't happen. They'll flock to another app. Believe it or not, TikTok isn't the only social media app out there. If you have no clue what I'm yapping about right now in regards to TikTok because either you don't care or are not chronically online, to summarize everything in the fewest amount of words as possible, on January 19th, today, TikTok got banned in the US because of security concerns. TikTok's parent company is based in China, ByteDance, which means they possess a huge amount of American data. Doesn't really matter if they have access to it or not. This has raised concerns over national security for the US government. I should mention that TikTok specifically isn't getting banned. They're trying to ban the CCP from owning TikTok, which is a ban, I guess, if they don't sell to an American company. This has actually been an ongoing discussion as far back as 2019, 2020, when Trump was at the end of his first term as president and proposed a TikTok ban because of security concerns. Of course, Biden and the Democrats opposed it at the time. This isn't a new issue. Funnily enough, this is important to know, Biden and his administration is the one who's pushing the ban right now, not Trump. Trump was actually trying to delay the ban until he's inaugurated. Because guess what? Republicans and Democrats always have to oppose one another. Is Trump only doing this because he's trying to be a hero and get more of those sweet Gen Z votes? Who knows? Now, a lot of different opinions are being put out there by everyone. Some people saying it should be banned, some saying it shouldn't be banned, and some people just don't care. Gen Z specifically, especially the people who are on TikTok, have been very against the ban, obviously, because the vast majority of TikTok's user base is Gen Z, and it's a more liberal app, which Gen Z tends to identify more with. They have pointed out that the government is being hypocritical, and a lot of US companies have and sold a lot of American data, funny enough, some to China. Now, my personal opinion is, I don't care. I've never used TikTok, I've never installed the app. The only time I ever saw TikTok content is if I were seeing it on a different social media app, like Instagram Reels or in a YouTube video. But just because I don't care about something being banned, doesn't mean that it should be banned. I think it's a restriction on freedom of speech, and I know people are already going to say that China censors everything. They don't even allow a lot of American apps in their country. I also know that countries like India have banned dozens of Chinese apps over the past few years. A lot of European countries have banned RT, which is a Russian state-controlled news network. But for a country that's known as the land of the free, I think it's kind of crazy to compare the US to any of these other countries in this matter. Like I already mentioned, I don't personally care if TikTok gets banned or not. I just think it's hypocritical to ban it when a lot of American companies do the same thing or even worse than what China has done. I understand the security risk China poses to the US, I just kind of don't care. Man, China already probably has all of my data, whether it's through it being sold from a US company or one of those third-party Chinese sites that sells clothes that is 3 sizes too small because America runs on fast food. I do want to mention something about Gen Z's response to the matter. You know, very hysterical and angry. If TikTok does get banned, it's not the end of the world. Your voice is not all of a sudden getting silenced in the media. I think it's absurd so many Gen Z people on TikTok are pretending like TikTok was some huge news agency for people, and that was the main reason why people use the app. TikTok isn't some credible news outlet. Not only was it extremely biased because of its audience, but rarely did anyone have any sources or links to back the information being presented. Now, TikTok isn't the only app that has this problem. Every other social media platform has the same problems, especially Facebook, which for some reason any AI generated content or pictures are seen as real because the old people on that app are extremely gullible. TikTok, like most social media apps, is just a way for people to mindlessly scroll through reels and videos so they can waste hours of their lives to distract themselves. That is its main function for like 95% of its user base. Same with Instagram, same with Facebook, same with Reddit. Social media for most people is just them consuming a bunch of content related to drama, cat videos, or just advertisement. I'm also not delusional on why government officials would want the app to be deleted outside of the China stuff, especially since TikTok is like the only app which you can talk about this certain country in a negative light. I'm not going to get into it. I'm not the person who has the ability to talk properly about that horrible situation. Now, I want to discuss, if TikTok were to be banned, what would Gen Z do? First of all, TikTok being banned won't make Gen Z less chronically online. So, let's throw that out there. Next, where will TikTok's audience go then if it is banned? Well, some people have been going to Chinese apps, funny enough, like Rednote and Lemonade, the new homes for TikTok refugees, I guess. Even though those apps have a lot of censorship and are anti-LGBT, but in all reality, most of TikTok's user base will go to established apps like Instagram and Twitter, because most people who have TikTok already have Instagram and Twitter, even if they don't use it consistently. And I know people are going to say that Instagram Reels sucks, which is true, so they aren't going to use it, but they will. Swiping up on TikTok Reels isn't all too different from swiping up on Instagram Reels, even if it's not the same and is a worse experience. You will get the same dopamine effect that you will have mindlessly scrolling for hours. Granted, you're probably going to see more Ford F-150s killing families of 5 and content so racist that'll make Andrew Johnson blush, but the algorithm will recommend you content that you like or interact with. Either that or another app will arise like TikTok did in the first place when it was rebranded from Musical.ly. Overall, I'm not sure what's going to happen with TikTok. I guess we'll see over the next few days. Like I already mentioned, I'm against the ban of TikTok, even if I don't care if the app is banned. I understand why it's being banned, but I think there's more important things the US government should be focusing on. I also think it's extremely hypocritical to ban TikTok when other social media companies in the US do the same exact things, but since they're American companies, it's alright. In all honesty, I don't think TikTok being banned will change anything that much. Like, your average US citizen isn't going to have a completely different life before and after a TikTok ban. But who knows? Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, please, and adios.